What's up, everybody? Welcome to some Yahenni, Daring Darling. Hope you're ready to get your mono black mid-range on. Just a little splash of aristocrats, not too crazy. Ooh, playing against MRB. Okay, let's get the chat closed out. Now, as far as opening, yeah, I love this opening hand. The only thing is we have to watch out for MRB, but yeah, we can keep on this one. I like the Ancient Tomb. It's always pretty much, yeah, whenever I see Ancient Tomb in the opening hand, I'm like, yeah, sounds like a plan. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get the Swamp down. Anything else? We don't really want to go for supernatural stamina right now. Don't really do us that good. Let's go and get the swamp down. Anything else? Now we're going to go and pass the turn. We are playing Yahenni. Yahenni has haste. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a +1 counter on Yahenni. Then sacrifice another creature. Yahenni gains indestructible until end of turn. Playing against MRB. Actually, I'll cover that in just a second. Let's go ahead and from black and green. Yeah, let's go ahead and get Yahenni down. I think I'm okay with that. Yeah, let's go. Let's get the Ancient Tomb down. Let's go Yahenni. Let's get that clock going. It's one of the fun things about going Yahenni is cost 3, and then having the Ancient Tomb gets out pretty quick. So tap for 2 on the Ancient Tomb. Click on 2. There we go. All right, Yahenni on the stacks. Get the commander box closed down. All right, let's go and swing in for 2. Coming in hot. There we go. Put our opponent down to 28, and that will be 2 total commander damage that we have dealt. Alright, playing against MRB. MRB does not untap during your next untap step. Then tap, gain control of target creature for as long as you control MRB. Whenever MRB leaves the battlefield or becomes untapped, destroy that creature. It can't be regenerated. Alright, opponent gets down a Mind Stone. Let's go and get the Swamp down. I think that sounds pretty good. And then we get the Sword of Feast and Famine on there. And get some nice little, get some sword going. No, at least not this turn, but we'll get it down right now. So it's going to be 1-2. And then that way, if our opponent does have some sort of removal spell, we can get the sword down. Hey, you too. There we go. Best of luck to our opponent. Get the Sword of Feast and Famine down. We are 1 mana away from equipping it, so can't go for it right now. But we'll still go ahead and swing in. Coming in hot for 2. That'll be another 4 commander damage that we dealt total. 2 more, putting our opponent down to 26. All right. Anything else? Now we're going to go and pass the turn. So, we do have supernatural stamina in the hand. Until end of turn, target creature gets +2, +0, and then whenever it dies, we get returned to the battlefield tapped under control. So, once we get the Sword of Feast and Famine onto Yahenni, we're going to be able to get out from underneath the MRB, gain control of target creature, because it will have protection from black and green. But our opponent's not playing green, but they are playing black, so it'll allow us to give us some protection from MRB. She will not sing her nice little siren song with her little purple cape and convince Yahenni to go join her side. So that'll give us a little bit of an option to get out from underneath that. But other than that, we do have Barter in the Blood. Each player sacrifices 2 cards. Probably not going to go for that just yet because we want to keep Yahenni on the battlefield. And then if we get down Kali Tusk, we need to be a little bit careful because Kali Tusk will, whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, we're going to get a +1 counter. Kali Tusk will stop that interaction from happening. So that's something we need to keep in mind, simply because we want to get those +1 counters on Yahenni. I do have Kali Tusk in here, just a little bit of a value play. We have so much removal in here. Let's say that something happens to Yahenni and we can't get Yahenni on the battlefield. Kali Tusk is a great backup with the amount of removal to get those zombies on the battlefield and really kind of start swinging in from there. Alright, see if our opponent's going to tap out for maybe, see if they're tapping out for. Either way, we still have the supernatural stamina. We can get that down, and then worst comes to worst, we can always go Kali Tusk if something does that, like it's exiled or something like that. We can get the Sword of Feast and Famine on Kali Tusk and start going beat sticks. Okay, we'll just go and leave that 1 mana up. Now next turn, we can actually go ahead and get down the Cryptghast off the double black and the Ancient Tomb, and then get the Swamp down and be able to equip it off onto Yahenni. Alright, Swords to Plowshare in response. Okay, whenever it dies, yeah, that's going to get it. Anything we want to do in response to that. We can't sacrifice another creature. Whenever it dies, yeah, that's fine. Goes to Exile Zone. Alright, get that pop back up. And I think at this point, either way, whatever creature we get down, we're going to be able to protect it from MRB on the Sword of Feast and Famine. Unless they have some more spot removal. But we're going to play like they don't have it, because that's going to be our best option going forward. Let's go ahead and get the Swamp down. Now, if we want to, they can get MRB down and we can go for Barter in Blood next turn and then sacrifice 2 creatures. What are we going to go for? Now, if we get down Kali Tusk, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we can still get the Sword of Feast and Famine on there if we go Cryptghast. But they're not going to be able to gain control of it just yet. You know what? Let's go ahead and let's get Crypt Gas down. Well, no, let's go on past turn. I guess we can leave up Barter and Blood on the next turn and then go for that. I don't know. That seems like we're taking off a turn. If we go for Barter and Blood, sacrifice a creature, it goes back to us. But we'll get MRB going back to the command zone. But they might kind of know something's up, anticipating some sort of spot removal. Yeah, let's go Kalitas. I kind of like that line of play. Let's go Kalitas. I like it a little bit. We'll go Kalitas, and then if something does happen, if they have some more removal, or maybe they don't go for MRB and get rid of Kalitas, worst case scenario, we're going to be able to get Sword of Feast and Famine on Kalitas and start swinging in, get that lifelink going, and then hopefully start turning some of their creatures into zombies and kind of go from there. But if we ended up going for the Yahenni game plan, we can always go for Barter and Blood to get Kalitas off the battlefield to make sure that we have Yahenni back online. Start swinging in. But I did add some new cards to the deck, and actually, if our opponent's passing the turn, let's just go ahead and kind of kick it over. Then I'll kind of cover those cards in just a second. And then as far as the Shambling Vent goes, they do not have enough black mana to activate Shambling Vent, so we don't have to worry about that one. If they wanted to block on that one, they could. Drawn to Snuff Out. Okay, that's actually pretty good. Destroy. Oh, no, excuse me. It's going to be black on that one. We won't get around that. Let's go ahead and go for Cryptghast. It's going to be 1/2. Because with Sword of Feast and Famine, we're going to be able to untap all of our lands. So if we can take advantage of it, I definitely want to. And then tap for one more. And it'll make that last swamp tap for double black mana, which will allow us to equip the sword on there. Okay, good to go for Cryptghast. See if that resolves. If our opponent has a counter spell, so be it. Won't be the end of the world. And then I think as far as Shambling Vent goes, if they do fire up Shambling Vent, start that swinging across, I'm pretty sure that is not a... let's go and equip the Sword of Feast and Famine onto Kalitas. It's going to be double off that swamp. Okay, got that equipped. Let's go and swing in. And then as far as the back end, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to get down. We're looking at Massacre Worm. Creatures our opponents control get -2, -2. Mortify on Kalitas. Yeah, that's fine. Still have Cryptghast. And then we can't equip that on there. Anything else, and we're going to go and pass the turn. So, if they do tap out for MRB, we can go for Massacre Worm next turn. We do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 8 total mana, so we'll be online taking control of MRB, and then we can start swinging with some nice little worm tokens. Then if they do kind of start animating some of their man lands, we can go for the Snuff Out, because I'm pretty sure it becomes... No, excuse me, it does. It becomes a 2/3 white and black elemental creature token with lifelink. Now, the Fairy Conclave, it'll be blue, so we'll be online for Snuff Out on the Fairy Conclave if they get that fired up. And our opponent may see it as a way to just kind of swing in a quick little chump, swing in some quick little damage. Definitely go for a Snuff Out on that to kind of set them back on lands. Don't mind making that play at all. But the new cards that I added to the deck, I did add Dire Fleet Ravager, which is, we're playing Yahenni. We're kind of in this aggressive gameplay strategy to where exile the sword. Yeah, that's fine. We do have this kind of game plan with Yahenni to where we're a little bit more aggressive swinging in with Yahenni. So Dire Fleet Ravager is a great way for us to... kind of put some pressure on our opponent, get rid of some of that life total to where we can start swinging in and maybe get some nice little incremental damage from there. Also added Boneyard Parlay. That went into a lot of my mono black decks that run a lot of mana, and it's always fun. I don't know, I just love Graveyard and split pile cards and Magic. Those are always fun to me to get going. And so, having the Boneyard Parlay in here, and also put it into Gonti too if you're a fan of Gonti, just because it seems like it's such a fun card to play with. I don't know, I just love... I love pile cards in Magic. They're always fun. And I also added Arguel's Blood Feast, and I may have butchered that one. Arguel's, maybe Arguel's? Maybe that's the correct way to say it. I don't know. But I added that one. It's kind of just basically a cheaper Erebos to get that card draw, and then we can... once it flips, we can sacrifice a creature and gain life equal to its toughness. But most of the time, we're just going to be using it to be drawing cards. Alright, so let's go and get the swamp down. Anything else? Yeah, we're going to go for Yahenni. That sounds good. Yeah, we're going to go for that. Let's see. The Yahenni's going to cost 5 mana, if that's correct. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can actually tap out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That way we're not taking 2 on the Ancient Tomb. And that'll be just enough for an Extort trigger off the Supernatural Stamina. If they do, our opponent doesn't have any sort of exile spells. Yes, we're going to use that ability. And we got the mana Cryptghast. Always like making you happy, buddy. Alright, so let's go and swing in for 4. It's going to put us at 6 total commander damage on our opponent and put them down to 21. And then anything else. Now we're going to go and pass the turn. So we're online for Snuff Out and we're online for Supernatural Stamina. Now, unfortunately, our opponents had a lot of exile style effects. You know, we have Mortify. Well, actually, Mortify was a little bit differently. But Utter End and Swords to Plowshare were both exile effects that really basically kind of negate Supernatural Stamina. But at this point right now, we definitely want to allow, if they do have another removal spell on Yahenni, we're going to go for Supernatural Stamina. But yeah, also added the Bloodfast. So I think that's the 3 new cards that I added to the deck. And happy birthday to Cole. You wanted, Cole said, hey, it's my birthday on this day. Can you do some Yahenni? But I had my recording done through last Friday, so it's a little bit belated, but still, it's better late than never. So happy birthday to Cole. Hope you had a good birthday. All right, opponent's going for Sad Robots. Now, if we want to, we could go for Snuff Out on that. They're going to get a card draw off of that. I mean, is it going to put a +1 counter on Yahenni, which will be 3, and will be 9 total commander damage? I don't know if we would just want to give him another card draw in just this second. What I'd really like is if our opponent goes for MRB, gets on the battlefield, then we can go Massacre Worm and kind of go from there. But either way, if we go Snuff Out or Massacre Worm, they're going to be able to draw some cards. I guess at this point, yeah, let's just hold on to Snuff Out. If we want to, actually, we can probably just go ahead and go Massacre Worm Beat Sticks. I kind of like that one. That'll be 8 total mana off the swamps, and then we can still go for a nice little extra. Ooh, Flesh Bag. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we need 6 mana and then Flesh Bag. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a +1 counter on there. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and go Flesh Bag. Yeah, I like that. Let's go Flesh Bag. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. That still puts us on Massacre Worm if they get some sort of tokens out there or something, who knows. The Flesh Bag, with just 1 creature on the battlefield, that kind of clears the way for Cryptghast and Yahenni to start swinging in. Yes, we're going to pay for that ability. Those Extort triggers will add up. Puts them down to 20. Then we have Flesh Bag entering the battlefield. Probably going to go ahead and sacrifice Flesh Bag on this one. If we wanted to, we could Supernatural Stamina, but there's no other creatures out there. So that would be definitely a line that you could go for if you're thinking about building a Yahenni deck. Alright, we're going to go and sacrifice Flesh Bag. Opponent's going to yeah, they don't have enough mana to activate the Fairy Conclave, so I was saying they could go for that, but they don't have enough mana. Alright, so they're going to draw a card off the Sad Robot. Get a +1 counter on Yahenni. There we go. Make it a nice little 3/3 over there. Let's go on swinging for 5. And, you know, we're using Supernatural Stamina as a way to get Yahenni back on the battlefield, but we might be able to, is if we can get into spots where we can push in enough commander damage, we can definitely use that nice little +2 ability if our opponent's not expecting it. Okay. Put our opponent down to 15. Anything else? Now we're still going to go and pass the turn. So we're still in a good position. We have Barter and Blood, which would not be the best for us, Barter and Blood, because we only have 2 creatures out there. But if we get into a position to where we do have 10 mana, and that'll be exactly just enough, because it's going to be 6 and 4. Yeah, so we could go for Massacre Worm, sacrificing the Cryptghast, and sacrifice the Massacre Worm, I guess, if we want to get a few more counters on Yahenni. We can definitely go for that if we wanted to. Just to kind of keep it open, and then if they start going for the Fairy Conclave activations, we still have Snuff Out. But yes, it feels good to be playing Yahenni. I can't remember the last time I played Yahenni. It's been a minute, but it's always fun to go mono black beat sticks with Yahenni. Okay, opponent's going for a Rite of Replication for 4. I was thinking we could go for Snuff Out in response, but that is target non-black creature. And Cryptghast is very much in the black colors right there, so that will not work. If we go for Snuff Out in response to that, and they'll get a nice little Extort trigger in response to that, but they don't have enough mana to pay for it. Okay. Now we may... Actually, if we just go Massacre Worm, that'll completely clear that side of the board out. So I think I do like that one, and we're going to get 2... Well, excuse me, we're only going to get 1 counter from the Cryptghast, because MRB is going to go back to the command zone. But we're still online for... Still online for Massacre Worm, so that's a nice little way to kind of squeeze out some little extra value. Let's see what we draw into. Draw into Imperial Seal. Alright, so let's go ahead and go Massacre Worm. Yeah, I like this. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And actually, let's go and tap the Ancient Tomb. Let's go Massacre Worm. And that'll be just enough for the Extort trigger. Pay for that. Massacre Worm enters the battlefield. Creatures our opponent's control get -2, -2. They're going to lose 2 life. We'll get a +1 counter on Yahenni. They're going to go down to 12. Then let's go ahead and that last mana, let's go ahead and go Imperial Seal. Alright, opponent scoops it up. We were going to be able to swing in. Imperial Seal, we're going to grab probably Exsanguinate off that because that would have been enough to kind of close it out next turn. But yeah, that should be enough right there. So we swing in for 4-6. It's going to put our opponent down to 6. And then on the back, actually, I'm going to pause the video and bring it back up. Okay, so we got the Massacre Worm down. Sorry, sometimes on Magic Online, whenever an opponent X's out of the game, it just closes the game out. For some reason, I don't know why it does that. But yes, I went back to the replay so we can kind of talk about it. So we got a Massacre Worm that kind of got rid of their creatures out on the board. We had Yahenni swinging in for 4, Cryptgas swinging in for 2, so that was 6, put our opponent down to 6. We still had another Extort trigger, which would have put him down to 5, and then with the Imperial Seal, we'd be able to grab Exsanguinate to kind of help close it out next turn. Then if things got a little bit crazy, we still had Supernatural Stamina and Barter and Blood on just to make sure we kind of clear the way for Yahenni. So, alright everybody, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.